Thinking about buying a Force FX Elite lightsaber but not sure if you actually should? You've come to the right video, my friend. If you're new to my channel, be sure to stick around for the question of the day so you can be featured in my next video. And be sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon. With that being said, enjoy. What's happening, my Knights of Hen? So a good amount of you by now have been following me, you know, unbox different Force FX lightsabers, sometimes custom sabers, and I've just realized I've got all the Force FX Elite lightsabers to date. We got the Kylo Ren, Darth Revan, and Emperor Palpatine. Or Darth Sidious, whatever. And I've said a range of different things, both bad and good. And you know what? Some of my opinions change. Some of my opinions stick. But from what I've seen, a lot of you guys are still kind of tossing up between whether you should actually buy one or not. So I'm making this video, you know, specifically for that. And I hope I can help you, you know, make up your mind. And I know some of you are really set on not buying one. So maybe this video may change your mind or make your opinions even stronger. This is all in my opinion and my honest thoughts, really. So I'm not gonna pull any punches. If there are bad things, I'm gonna say there are bad things. If there are good things, I'll say there are good things. And of course, I'll reveal which one I think is the best out of the three. Again, in my opinion, guys. Remember, I'm not Hasbro or anything like that. Alright, my Knights of Hen, let's get on with it. Alrighty, here we are. We revisit the Force FX Elite lightsabers. Going back in time, we've got the Kylo Ren Force FX Elite, then came the Darth Revan Force FX Elite, and then the most recent Palpatine Force FX Elite. I'm gonna start with like the hilts and like how they feel. Straight away, I'm gonna say the Darth Revan one is the least comfortable to hold, and I have stated this before a couple of times, you know, quite strongly. It's a cool design and all, don't get me wrong. It's just the fins is what really gets me. I mean, some of you have said to me in Instagram that, oh, it's comfortable, maybe it's just because I got bigger hands. I'm gonna say, in terms of comfort, Revan's is the worst. Kylo Ren's, I should have started with Kylo Ren's, but whatever. Kylo Ren's, it's not too bad, though, like, you do have stuff in the way. You got that wiring. Honestly, whenever I swing this thing around, I always feel like I'm going to, like, tear the wire or anything, or it's going to come off. And then, obviously, you got these pillars here. And the thing is, you know, we'll get to the electronics a bit later. This is how you turn on the lightsaber here. I don't know if you guys recall me explaining this in my Kylo Ren video, which was actually quite a while ago now, but the way you turn it on, right, is you push it down, and then to turn it off is, yeah, vice versa, whatever. The thing is, like, this is, I'm assuming this bit here is the choke point. It's very easy to turn off the lightsaber while you're swinging it around. I mean, just straight up, you know, doing your flurries and stuff. All it takes is for like one of your fingers or whatever to just kind of make that one move, and then it turns off, you know what I mean? But overall, it's not too bad to hold. I'm gonna say it's sensitive because of that. I know a lot of you are quite new to my channel, but I did say in my Kylo Ren videos that I much preferred if this was the on button. Does that opinion still stick? Yes, it does. Like, honestly, just like a button, or even make this small to make it a slide panel just like this, if you know what I mean. Now we get on to the Palpatine. Now this one is very interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and say I like how it's chrome. You know, I think that actually feels quite nice, you know, holding chrome things. Just, it's very smooth, just straight up. The thing that really caught me off guard with the Palpatine Force FX Elite, and I did really express this, but like just how thick it is. Like, they say it's a 1-to-1 scale. I'm gonna say it's not. I mean, it is a replica, but not 1-to-1 scale, you know what I mean? It's just so bloody thick. It is the most comfortable to hold. Despite it being thick, I can definitely get a nice grip on it without having to worry about anything. I will say though, there is a slight chance that you could do the same thing with Kylo Ren and accidentally turn it off with this. But honestly, you can just put your hand there and grip it there. I mean, after all, Palpatine's lightsaber is really meant to be a one-hander, in my opinion. But yeah, no, overall, I'm going to say the Palpatine is the most comfy to hold. Probably the practical one because you're less likely to turn it off like Kylo Ren. Now we look at the design of them. So I'm gonna say Kylo Ren and Darth Revans are, you know, are more like they've got more going on with them, whereas Palpatine, you know, has some stuff going on, but it's more on the simpler side, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Taking a look at the details of the Kylo Ren, you got like, you know, the wires, the 3 kyber crystals. I'm gonna say, yeah, 3 kyber crystals in all 3 of the vents, crossguard, whatever, and then you can see like the internals. Oh yeah, not to mention like this thing inside there, which is the battery pack, which I'm gonna go ahead and say Kylo Ren's has the best looking battery pack, only because it's got like that thing attached to it. The other 2, no. But the thing is with the Kylo Ren design is, and then you know what, it's actually pretty similar with the standard Black Series Kylo Ren also, but the details on these just look more on the cheaper side. Like, it's really, you can tell, just kind of just painted on, you know what I mean? Like, even this, guys, look at this. You see how there's a bit of metal scratches there? That didn't come from the factory or whatever. That's actually like the paint scratching off. Even the internals, you know, I wish they'd do like some sort of more realistic kind of touch up, or even like a more shinier plastic material, whatever, just to make it more realistic. Like look at this wire here. That's looks so like toy-like. And then, you know, the wiring in this one ain't too bad, but then you really look closely and yeah, honestly, these are just nitpicky stuff for me, but yeah, I do pay attention to details like that sometimes. Now looking at the fan favorite Darth Revan, straight away, I'm gonna say Revan's looks more appealing to the Kylo Ren hilt. It's more shiny. You got the buttons, you got like these, like, I'm gonna say tribal designs, which, you know, don't look too bad actually. You know, it's got grooves and everything. It's more realistic than like Kylo Ren, in my opinion. You got these here too. Now it does look more on the toy side, but whatever, I still like it better than Kylo Ren's like details. You got the fins on top, which actually move and stuff, which is cool. You can keep the lightsaber like that, but it's really so you can get it inside the blade socket and the kyber crystal, which I'll probably show you guys later on. Just focusing on the exterior of the hilt, you know, it is kind of on the simpler side, you know, compared to Kylo Ren, but for me it looks, yeah, quote unquote more realistic, if you know what I mean. Now we look at the Palpatine hilt. It probably looks the most realistic. There's no kind of plastic looking bits. Like, if there is, it's also a shiny plastic, so win-win. You got the things like no kyber crystal or anything like the other 2, but whatever. But no, it's got very nice polished metal. Even the red button is kind of transparent, or like, oh, actually no, yes it is. Even the red button's kind of got like a transparent-y kind of look to it, but the green button is just straight up like solid, which, you know, I wish it'd be similar to this one, but whatever. That's the only bit to me that looks kind of a bit if. Again, these are really just nitpicky stuff. In the end, for me, the most eye candy, I can't decide on this one actually. Like, they both have their own uniqueness to it. Maybe my not so favorite one is the Kylo Ren, but the other 2, you know, not bad. Comment below which one you like better in terms of design, between the Darth Revan, Emperor Palpatine, or the Kylo Ren. Alrighty, my Knights of Hand, let's get on to the electronics and functions. So, starting with Kylo Ren, straight away, I'm just gonna say that I reckon, in my opinion, that it's got like more compared to the other 2, even just a little bit, only because you got the main blade and then the 2 side blades, or exhaust blades, whatever you want to call them. And here are the kyber crystals, you know, that came out of the blade sockets. Let's go ahead and fire it up. So yeah, not bad. It's got the unstable blade effect, which is pretty cool. It's bright, you know. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and say, you know, for future references, they're all about the same brightness. Now, I will say a neat thing with Kylo Ren's one is that it's got a bit of a motion sensor thing to it, if you could even call it that. So for instance, you hold the lightsaber like this, and then it turns on like that. Then you hold it down, it goes So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, you've got the standard Force Effects Elite functions, which is like the blaster effects, and then the screeching. Now, if some of you recall, I did initially say, you know, the electronics were faulty and whatnot because I had trouble turning it on. Reason being is because of the batteries. I have told people this, and I'm gonna tell it again. Remember to get good batteries, and I cannot stress that enough. Otherwise, you're gonna think your lightsaber is genuinely broken. But yeah, with Kylo Ren's functions, you've got, you know, the 3 blades, like I said before, you know, cross guard, unstable effect. You got the standard Force Effects Elite, you know, the blaster effects, screeching and what have you. That motion sensor thing, you know, where it goes psh when you hold it up and then psh psh when you hold it down, you know. The Kylo Ren soundboard isn't too bad. It's got alright sound, you know, it's got that typical Kylo Ren noise, which is pretty okay, I suppose. Now we move on to the Darth Revan Elite. So firing it up, it's got a purple blade. I'm gonna say this is the main color because this particular design is meant to be purple, you know, in canon / legends. It does have the function to change color, which is cool. That's its kind of niche, along with the Kyber crystal, of course. Something that's quite strange to me. You compare the purple, I don't know if the camera's doing it justice, you can just see the LEDs. You see like the LED spots there, if you know what I'm saying. But when you go ahead and go to red, the blade becomes brighter and the LED bits aren't as noticeable. Honestly though, the camera isn't doing it much justice. And of course, you got the typical... And then... you know, the same things as Kylo Ren. Now, the thing is, in terms of sound, it is quiet. Like... quiet, at least compared to Kylo Ren's anyway. But yeah, it is quiet. It's got a generic sound to it. Smooth swing, if you can even call it that, it's barely noticeable, like noise-wise. But yeah, the soundboard in this one is definitely lacking. I have said this in the unboxing, but yeah, it's just way too quiet. But you know, the color changing thing is cool. You got the Kyber crystal, which actually does light up. You have to put it in and turn on the lightsaber, and then you just take it out. The thing I don't really like about it is, like, I thought initially you could open up the hilt and look at the crystal inside the hilt, but you actually have to, like, put it in, twist, turn it on, and then twist again, take it out, and it's but overall, it's okay, I guess. The soundboard, the sound, the loudness of the sound, whatever, is what's really turning me off about it. Now, taking a look at the Palpatine Force Effects Elite. Again, same brightness as the other blades, you know, red blades anyway. It's honestly sounds very similar to the Darth Revan, so, quiet as all hell. Then you got the same old, like, clash, and then the typical Force Effects Elite, which is standard. You know, if Force Effects Elite decides not to do that, I'll be shocked. Its function is quote-unquote Force Lightning, which I will show now. So, yeah. I did say this in the Palpatine Force Effects Elite unboxing video, but the Force Lightning thing on a lightsaber is strange. Honestly, if we go ahead and do it again, it's basically a blue lightsaber. Like, okay, look at this, ready? I'm gonna turn on Kylo Ren's. See the unstable thing there? It's so similar to that. It just becomes a unstable blue lightsaber. That's the best way to put it. So I don't even consider it to be like Force Lightning. It's just a blue lightsaber that's unstable. And that's all the Palpatine's really got to it, is like the blue lightsaber, unstable blue lightsaber, and then the standard functions of a Force Effects Elite lightsaber. In terms of functions, I actually like the Kylo Ren's function the best because of that motion thing and, you know, cross guard and the unstable, whatever. The other two are cool, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're bad, it's just I feel like the functions of the Kylo Ren is somewhat more interesting, and, you know, it is a cross guard, so, and I like cross guard. In my opinion, there's like more kind of going on to it, but it's not too far away from the Darth Revan where it can change color and what have you. Palpatine, it doesn't have as much, you know, you could argue the Force Lightning thing is something, but in the end, it's not as... I don't want to say as interesting. It doesn't have as much to it, but it is a cheaper lightsaber, and I will get to the price later on. And now with that being said, of course I'm going to go on to the blade internals. Now, Kylo Ren's and Darth Revan's are quite similar, where you put it in, twist, and then lock it in. Now, because of that, it causes, you know, scratches within the internals, as you can definitely see there. Same with Darth Revan's, kind of. Now, because this is newer, it's not going to be as defined, but you can definitely see it's starting to really scratch. I don't play with my Revan often, so hopefully it doesn't scratch too much anytime soon. You guys saw me get excited with the Palpatine one, but it looks as though they are aware or they listen to us. But if you look at this one, it's more deep, and you don't twist it anymore. You just plug it in, and then voila. Look at that. So far, nothing. I mean, there's kind of something there, but overall, look at that. I have a lot of hope for the Palpatine lightsabers internals to not be so scratchy. So that's something for the Palpatine. That's a nice win, I'd say. So really, in a way, what I'm trying to say is these are kind of more delicate than the Palpatine, you know, electronics-wise. So I guess good work, Hasbro, on that part for recognizing. But in terms of like the functions and I guess the more interesting lightsaber, I'm gonna give it to Kylo Ren. You know, despite what I said before, it, you know, cross guard, the motion sensor, it's got more to it, you know. Like, these two have their own unique things, but Kylo Ren's is, for me, got more. Even just by a little bit. Now let's talk price. So both Kylo Ren and Darth Revan both costed the same. So this is in Australian terms. The Kylo Ren and Darth Revan cost $500 Australian, whereas Palpatine costs only $400, so it's $100 cheaper, so it makes sense why it has less to it. But again, the internals are much better in my opinion. I'm actually surprised the Darth Revan costs just as much as the Kylo Ren. Like, you could argue, like, oh, it changes color, it's got the Kyber crystal and all, but honestly, like I said before, I feel like the Kylo Ren has got even just a bit more to it. So even if it's by like an extra $50 or something, I feel like the Kylo Ren could have been better. Yeah, the Darth Revan could have been less, like kind of like a middle price. You know what? That's perfect. The Darth Revan is actually like the middle saber. Yeah, there we go. I mean, that makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you guys? Now, with all its functions and all that, is it worth the $500? You know what? The price for them altogether, you know, is it worth it in my opinion? I'm on the fence, I'm not gonna lie. To some people it's worth it, to others it's not. It really depends on who you ask. But in terms of it, I feel like personally, you know, again, I'm on the fence, but I feel like they could be at least slightly cheaper, maybe. But who knows, it could be COVID tax. And there we go, guys. Those were basically the topics I wanted to cover with, you know, kind of like the overview or the overall kind of verdict of these Force FX lightsabers, you know, from my perspective or opinions, you know, whatever term you want to use. You know, in the end, what's good about them is they're licensed, you know, they are official Star Wars products, whereas custom sabers, they're not, you know. And, you know, most people don't care, you know, that's fine, you know, I still buy custom sabers, you know, I think they are just so much more quality, you know, compared to these, but these aren't too bad. I guess people are just used to, like, really high-end lightsabers, you know, such as, like, NeoPixel installed sabers these days, which, you know, fair enough, I totally get it. This, I feel like, was Hasbro's answer to the NeoPixel. Does it nail it? Not so much, but it's kind of getting there. But hopefully I helped you guys decide whether you actually want to buy it or not, or if maybe I've changed your mind, you know, depending on what your opinions were in the first place. They've all got their unique features, which is cool, kind of gives the lightsabers, you know, more personality, you know, besides their design. They're all the same brightness, so don't worry about if any of the lightsabers are, you know, oh, this one's brighter or that one's brighter. No, they're all the same. Darth Revan's one, you know, the red is on par, but the purple, my one anyway, for some reason lacks, but overall the red is just as bright. as the other two. They are on the more expensive side compared to your standard Force Effects lightsabers, which you're gonna have to fork a bit more, but you do get more to them. In the end, is it worth it? You guys know my answer to that. You know, I'm on the fence on it. Depends who you ask. But no, they are still neat products nonetheless. Maybe on the more fragile side, but honestly, it really depends on how you handle them. Now, my favorite one, I'm actually gonna give it to Palpatine. It's, to me, the most beautiful, elegant one. It's cheaper, and it looks the most realistic, you know, in terms of the hilt. But yeah, guys, comment below which one is your favorite out of the three. Honestly, is it Kylo Ren? Is it Revan? Is it Palpatine? Let me know. Now, before we get on to the question of the video, last video, I asked you guys what was your favorite Palpatine quote, and this is what y'all said. My Knights of Hen, my question for this video. Seeing as Mandalorian Season 2 comes out today on Disney Plus, I'm gonna make the question relate to that. What are you looking forward to in the Mandalorian Season 2? Me personally, honestly, I've got some mixed feelings, but I'm very keen to see live action Ahsoka. I just don't know which episode she's gonna show up in. I'm pretty sure she's showing up in it, and possibly we're getting Ezra, so ooh. But whatever you are keen for, guys, let me know in the comments below to be featured in the next video. And as always, my Knights of Hen, may the Force be with you.